If you're a metal roofing contractor about to start a Weathertight warranty approval or Weathertight warranty project, there's a few things that you want to keep in mind before starting the procedure. Here at Sheffield Metals, we do a lot of Weathertight warranties every single year, and we're going to talk about some common problems that we come across that we don't want you to have to fall into. What's up, guys? I'm Thad Barnett from the Metal Roofing Channel. Today on Q&A Mondays, I have Jeff Hawk and Dave Stubbs from the Sheffield Metals Technical Department. Thank you guys so much for being here today. So today we're going to be talking about Weathertight warranties and what typical problems that sometimes people fall into during the procedure. There's several steps that you got to keep in mind when starting a Weathertight warranty and continuing through the process. So we're going to cover some of those today. So let's start with communication. Guys, can you tell me what typically communication problems do you see during the Weathertight warranty approval process throughout the entire procedure?
You know, one of the biggest things that determines whether or not a Weathertight warranty is successful is the communication that goes on during the project. During a Weathertight warranty, we're partners with the contractor and we want to see you be successful. So over communicating is always 1,000 times better than under communicating with what you have going on in the project. You'll never get in trouble or, bothering us if you're communicating too much. We love hearing from you. We like knowing how the project's going. And if there's anything that comes up, we'd like to be able to help address it before it gets too far along on the job. So over communicating is always, preferred when we have these jobs going on, especially, depending on the size and how complex the project is.
And to add on to that it's really the entire circle from when we start getting into possibly the quote action, if they fill out the Weathertight warranty quote form, that really starts getting the ball rolling so we know what's coming up. And then the more eyes that we can get on some of the plans, we've got some really skilled people around here. Jeff and Jason really do a good job of looking at the drawings, looking for specifics, and then, all the way through the project, from the project manager to the coordinator to the procurement specialist, possibly, depending on the size of the company. Everybody needs to be in communication so that everything, all the boxes are checked throughout. And that's really, for me, it's before it starts. The quote, the application, our warranty application, and then getting all the information and then getting it to the field. That is so huge. So often we get to the job site and the poor installer, I'd say poor installer, because I feel like he's almost been victimized by other people just because he doesn't have the information that he needs to be provided to get, from point A to point B to finish this project, but nonetheless, get it started on the right track. And that's huge for us.
When you are communicating with an installer for a Weathertight warranty project, who should be your point of contact throughout the project? Who should that be?
They should definitely be a person who's on the job every day. You want somebody there that's going to be an integral part of the project from start to finish. Your point of contact shouldn't be changing throughout the project, and if they can't have the time to spend there the whole time on the project, then that contact needs to get passed off to somebody who is going to be in a senior role and going to be there consistently.
Yeah, good to know, because communication's got to start with knowing who you're communicating with. And definitely we can't, as a company, communicate effectively if we don't know who we're talking to. Why don't we move on to the next thing that we want to talk about? Let's talk about the actual steps in getting approved for a Weathertight warranty and the paperwork. What type of things do you come across with when it comes to paperwork and getting that started?
Well, before a warranty project starts, usually somebody will ask for a quote. We do have a Weathertight warranty quote request form that you get filled out. It's one page. You can type right in it. It gives the specifics about the project. You include the roof plans and the specs, and we can give you an accurate number based off of the information provided. So that's usually the part that starts before the project is awarded, when people are out for bidding it. Step 2, I'll let Dave talk about, is if after they have the project, we have a Weathertight warranty fillable application, and Dave can speak on that.
Yeah, the warranty application, it basically goes in 3 phases. It's the procedures, the information page, and the agreement. And the procedures are what they are. They're written, they sort of need to be acknowledged to be a part of the agreement. And those need to be read through and understand. But our biggest thing is the incomplete job information sheet that we have in there. Cities, state, zip code, that information is super important. All the information is important, but if we don't know where the project is, that's a real hindrance for us to get a warranty to it.
Yeah, and that's just going to introduce delays into the project, and nobody wants that, right?
Well, and to 2 points that Dave said, the procedures outline the process from start to finish. So everybody involved in the project knows what happens when they get paperwork, when to submit it, what to do after, what we do with it after we get it. So it keeps everybody in the loop, and it also has some good details as far as products that are approved, products that aren't approved, panels that are approved, panels that aren't approved. And to Dave's point, as far as incomplete information, we need all that information to be able to complete the Weathertight warranty paperwork at the end. So it's easier just to provide it up front instead of us, having to, track you down or have to more communications than necessary, I guess, to complete a simple task.
And I think that's a good way to transition into our next topic, which is approved or unapproved products. Talk to me a little bit about what kind of problems can occur if someone starts using an unapproved product.
Well, first off, every product used in a Weathertight warranty provided by Sheffield should be buying all their products from Sheffield Metals, unless it's something we don't supply. Probably the main thing that we don't physically supply is the pre-manufactured roof curbs. We send people off to a third-party company. They are an approved curb manufacturer, and they have our minimum requirements when it comes to building that curb. As far as not using approved products, the biggest hindrance is, what if you use a product we can't approve? Now you've installed how much of this roof with a product that we can't approve because it doesn't meet our minimum requirements? How are we going to go about remedying that? If it's an underlayment and now you have 30 squares on, there's not too many ways to fix an underlayment that's wrong.
Why did you choose those products to approve to begin with?
Well, originally, the products were all assembled, based on product knowledge, what's been tested, what's made for metal roofing industry, what's the best fastener and coating in the industry. By far, it's Tri-Coat from Triangle Fasteners. Every product has been researched. Do we deviate sometimes on these Weathertight warranties as far as an underlayment? We have, but we're not going to fall below a standard, a 5-year underlayment, a 5-year warranty on an underlayment for a 10-year warranty on a roof system. What we're trying to do is protect the owner. That's who's paying for the warranty. And we'd rather see, we want to know what's going into it, and we'd rather see better products for a better assembly for the better overall project.
Yeah, well, when it comes down to it, you're getting a long-term roofing system, you're getting a high-end roofing system. The whole idea is long-term metal roofing. You can have the greatest product in the world, but if the components and accessories that don't go into it aren't up to the same standard, then you're not really getting the full benefit of the material that you're putting on.
Why is it important to have the right people on the job? Talk to me about some problems that can occur if the right people aren't on the job.
If the right people aren't on the job, with the experience, the know-how, they probably don't have the craftsmanship that's going to be required to put on a metal roof. Metal roofs are a lot more intricate as far as the details that are required, the knowledge that is involved with cutting the metal, bending the metal, getting pieces to fit together. There usually has to be a minimum of 1 or 2 people that are very seasoned on a project to have it go well. You can have guys that are less experienced or maybe newer to the trade, but that are learning and taking direction from the more seasoned people that are on the project. But you need that experience, and you need that time and trade to be able to properly perform what's being asked of you. None of our details are recreating the wheel with anything, but it's knowing how things are supposed to fit together. It's knowing how the parts and pieces, measuring them so that they're in alignment. You look down your ridge is straight, your ridge doesn't look like a snake, and that comes with time and experience. So you're going to need some people on the job that are well seasoned in the industry and that have good practices when it comes to installation.
And let's be honest, if you're not going to install a good roof the first time, it gets really expensive, especially with the metal roof systems that we put on. And we offer free training. We do our best to communicate how, what, and why, but the right people on the project to get it started in the right direction and to take to the finish line is super important. I mean, when I show up on a job site to do an inspection and the job site is a mess, it's pretty predictable that's the same product that's going to go on the roof. It becomes a real alarming effect to find metal strewn out all over the parking lot, or we don't see it very often, but it is a deterrent from really trying to get a good product up there.
Yeah, I bet. And if you're somebody who has never done a Weathertight warranty project before, and maybe you've bid for one and you got the job, how do you know that you're ready to put on a Weathertight warranty project? How do you know that you're ready as a contractor?
I mean, it might depend on the size and complexity of a Weathertight warranty. Some Weathertight warranties are 5 squares. It's an up and over roof. Some Weathertight warranties are 200 squares, and the thing is a cut-up nightmare. It depends on your comfort level of what you're used to installing and the details that the manufacturer is going to require. All that information is available before you jump into a Weathertight warranty. Again, with the procedures, again with our installation details online, you should have a pretty good understanding of what's going to be expected of you before you jump right into a Weathertight warranty. But if you're a newer residential guy and you're looking into getting into light commercial projects, you probably don't want to take on those monsters that are all cut up, until you get your feet wet a little bit. Again, we work with new contractors, and it goes back to the communication. And we're dealing with a couple people right now that have never done Weathertight warranties with us, and the ones that communicate come out a lot better than the ones that don't.
So when it comes to actual job sites, what common problems do you typically see with Weathertight warranties?
Probably one of the biggest one is when it comes to the mechanically seamed panels not being seamed correctly, or the seams getting all chewed up. Again, that goes back to experience. You probably don't want the new guy on the crew running the seamer to do the finished panels without supervision, at least. So that's a big one. Not having the details on the job site. And again, like Dave mentioned earlier about the communication from us, maybe not getting filtering down to the people that are actually installing it. Those can all lead to potential problems.
One of my biggest things is just, it seems easy, but job site organization. The jobs are just so disorganized, and not a lot of forethought. They don't see the up and coming issues that might be coming up. Oh, we're coming into a sidewall that has a jog in it because of the EPIS or something like that. Something that takes a little bit of forethought. You need to order some special trim. You need to have some forethought to make it, preparation is the means to success, right? So those are the things that we see.
Another big one is, metal not fitting tightly, and guys just, dumping half a tube of caulk in there to fill the gap. That's not a 20-year Weathertight solution. Everything's supposed to fit tight. If you put a piece of metal in it doesn't fit right, you chalk it up and you cut another one so it does. You don't try to piece it together or just fill it with sealant. Sealant is not a 20-year Weathertight installation. And it all goes back to following the approved details. The details are color-coded, outlined, and very detailed as far as everything that you're supposed to do, what products to use, how far apart things are supposed to be. So it's, we always say it's pretty simple. If it looks like the picture, if you're good. If it doesn't, make it look like the picture. Because that's literally what it's going to come down to.
Right. And then along with the proper installation of the approved installation details comes with the photographs.
Yeah.
Trying to get photographs. And the sooner that we get those photographs, we've done a pretty good job with some paperwork that kind of explains how to take the pictures, what we want to see, sort of how to orchestrate it. A lot of our issue is the time that when the picture was taken to the time that it's received by the technical department. That lag, you can lay down, if it's a 3-day lag, you can install 40 square a panel after that bad picture, and that's a costly mistake. That's what I'm talking about, the cost of repairing a metal roof or going back and trying to fix it. It's exponential. And then if you lose those 3 days, you actually lose 6 days, because the 3 days that you tried to put on, you lost, and then 3 days you got to take it off. So pictures are super important. It seems easy enough, but it's still one of our struggles and one of our mainstays as far as trying to get information in the technical department or the Weathertight warranty department.
Yeah, and just while we're talking about pictures real quick, as Dave mentioned earlier, we came out with a document that shows you the information we're looking for when you take these photos. You know, a photo from 20 feet away at the overview of the side of a building doesn't really give you much insight on how things were installed. So this document actually shows you what it is that we're looking for, you know, as far as when the photos are concerned. You know, and the second thing, as far as receiving photos, you can text Dave, myself, or Jason all day, a photo here, a photo there, a photo here, a photo there, of as the project goes on. It's not like it has to be a big picture dump. You can send it as you're going, and text messages, that's fine. You know, I mean, there's many ways that we can get photos quickly. So if we see something, we can address it, you know, as fast as we can.
What typical problems do you see during inspections and during the closeout phase?
Well, as you know, Dave talked about before, you know, the Weathertight warranty fillable application not being sent out, not being filled out correctly. You know, we like the contractors to send us the details that they're going to be using. You know, we prefer our approved details, or our standard details, I should say, because then we know that they've had a chance to look at them. During the inspections, you know, depending on the length of the Weathertight warranty determines how many inspections there are. Scheduling is sometimes an issue. You know, guys will be like, hey, I'll be 50% tomorrow. When can you come out? When the paperwork says, you know, we'd like a 2 weeks heads up because we have to schedule airfare and travel and have conflicts with other projects. So scheduling is usually a concern, you know, so we'll try to keep in touch with the contractors and, you know, stay up to date on where they're at, you know, but, you know, during the inspections, it's important to review the inspection reports. You know, the inspection reports are going to have any discrepancy that was noted during the inspection, how to correct it, and any other information that's needed. It's everything that goes on the inspection site during that time is going to be documented. So it's important to read the inspection reports. Don't just receive it and, you know, let it go by the wayside. Read it, see what needs to be corrected and how it needs to be corrected, and what information you need to submit to show that those corrections have been made.
Once we get the final inspection done and the criteria is met as far as what corrections need to be made, those pictures need to be, you know, sent back to us, whatever the corrections need to be. I'm just assuming it's a couple of little things here and there. That's generally what they are. If there's big things that are being noted, and then, you know, corrective activities need to take place, you know, in a timely fashion. Take photos, get the photos back to us, technical department, and then we start the closeout process, basically. We'll need a date of completion, and that's generally given by the general contractor, generally during the process of the contracting or the AIA contract, which is generally what general contractors will use, or some associated means of that contract. The building will need to be commissioned on a certain date, and the warranties need to line up with that date so that the building is commissioned at that time, and all the warranties will line up, whether it be single pipe roofing and the Weathertight warranty from Sheffield Metals. That date needs to be sent to us, and then we fill out the warranty per that date, and we send that back to the contractor. They need to get it signed, and then some representative or ownership company, whoever the building is owned by, unless it's a government entity, they generally won't sign. And so those two parties sign it, send it to us. We make sure that all the provisions have been met. You know, all the accounting factors have been taken place. Payments have been made. Everything's good. Like I said, the correction pictures, we've received those, and then I'll send it up the chain to Jeff. Jeff signs the Weathertight warranties, and then we send it back out, and we're good to go.
Yeah, probably the biggest problem with the closeout paperwork is just the time it takes sometime to get it completed. You know, whether we're waiting on a signature or waiting on a payment when the job's been completed for some, you know, substantial amount of time. Sometimes it's in their control, sometimes it's not, but usually that's the biggest problem I see, is just trying to get a job closed out and getting people to sign the piece of paper.
So many times our contractors or the person that's trying to fulfill the warranty just gives the date of the last day they were on the job site, And that just doesn't necessarily correlate with the way that the buildings are commissioned or the way the buildings are turned over from the general contractor to the owner. And, sometimes they give me the date, I do the warranty, everything gets signed, I push it up to Jeff signs it, we come back, oh, we got to change the date. Well, now we got to start all over.
And there's also problems that can come about by making the wrong assumptions. Jeff, can you talk a little bit about that?
Just because a panel's engineered doesn't mean it might necessarily be applicable to the project you're putting it on. Say you have an 1 3/4 snap block, it's a warranty approved panel, but you have a 112 roof pitch. That's not going to happen. So that's a lot of things with assumptions. Especially if you've never done a warranty with Sheffield before, can be thwarted by doing everything we talked about. In this video so far. Doing the quote steps one. If you want to try to get something warranted and you give us a Weathertight warranty quote, we're going to see what panel you're using. We're going to see the roof plan. We're going to know whether or not it can be used, and we're in the process with you from the beginning. Same thing with reading through the specs. They might call out a funky ASTM number, or they might call out something that you missed, and you have a second set of eyes on it. We can review it. So. The safest thing is to assume nothing and verify everything, unless you're one of the contractors who's done, 5, 10, 15 warranties with us. And there's, even then things change, projects change, circumstances change. So the best thing to do, again, is to over communicate, get us involved in the beginning, and help try to take some of that concern or assumptions out of the equation.
So what about when it comes to residential projects?
So typically we don't do projects on residential warranties, and there's one main reason for it. It's, residential projects are usually a lot smaller and they get installed a lot quicker. And with that being the case, we can't properly inspect them. So we're not going to warrant a project that we can't properly inspect. In those instances, we suggest the homeowner look for a contractor that's going to offer them a workmanship warranty or an installation warranty. And they might be able to get an extended warranty based on the contractor and what the price is. But that's the main reason for not doing Weathertight warranties on, residential projects. And as Dave said earlier, we do run pretty lean, and I think we would just be overwhelmed, quite honestly, with the amount of residential projects that would come through.
So we covered a lot. Do you guys have any last-minute thoughts for us?
I think probably the most important thing I can tell a contractor is just because you apply for a Weathertight warranty doesn't mean a Weathertight warranty is going to get issued. We've talked about the procedures, we've talked about the requirements, we've talked about approved details, we've talked about products that are approved that need to be used. If those steps aren't followed, a Weathertight warranty isn't going to be issued on your project. We have the requirements in place. We have the expectations of the customer and installer in place to be able to provide a 20 years, sometimes longer, no dollar limit warranty on a project. Well, that's only going to happen if we work together as a team to do a successful Weathertight warranty. If you install details that aren't per the approved details, if you install products that aren't approved, it is either going to be corrected or the warranty isn't going to be issued. So I think it's important to know that when you apply for a Weathertight warranty, you need to follow the requirements. You need to answer the inspection reports. You need to submit the proper photos. You need to use the approved product, the approved details and approved products. Otherwise, a Weathertight warranty isn't going to be issued. An installer in a Weathertight warranty is usually responsible for the first 2 years of the project. That leaves, the most typical warranty is 20 years. That leaves 18 additional years that Sheffield would be liable. Sheffield's only going to take on that liability if it is installed per our standards with the products that we approve. So I think it's important to know that going in, that just because you apply doesn't always guarantee the issue. It does not guarantee the issuance of a Weathertight warranty.
My last thoughts are, please call your sales representative at Sheffield Metals. Have them walk you down the road of the procedures, first the quote form, the procedures, and then the application before you even get a project that you want to put a warranty on. Read through it. make sure that you want to go through all, this process. Because if you don't want to do the process, nobody's going to do something they don't want to do, and it's not going to get done right. So if you don't want to do it, don't fill out the application. But we're here to help. We'll train you. We'll train you up. We'll train your people up. We'll show you how to do it as best as we can. So don't hesitate to give us a call at the Sheffield Technical Department.
Yeah, that's great to remember. It is a process, and it's important to educate yourself as an installer, as a contractor. And as you guys continually said throughout the video, it's important to communicate and over-communicate so that we can best serve you and work together as a team. Thanks, Jeff and Dave from the Sheffield Metals Technical Department. I really appreciate it, guys. If you have any questions, please comment down below. We'd love to answer them. Or contact your sales rep. Check us out at Sheffield Metals online. Subscribe here to the Metal Roofing channel. And as always, I'm Thad Barnett, and we'll catch you next time.